Toby Keith's illustrious career in the country music industry spanned over 3 decades, solidifying him as a true icon in the genre. He was known for his distinctive baritone voice and a knack for storytelling through his lyrics. Throughout the years, he released numerous chart-topping albums, including How Do You Like Me Now?, Pull My Chain, and Unleashed. His songs often explored themes of patriotism, love, and the American way of life, resonating with a broad audience and earning him a devoted fanbase. Despite reigning supreme on the country charts for years, Toby Keith's absence from the music scene left fans puzzled. Initially, speculation circled around the notion that the seasoned artist might have lost interest in releasing new albums. However, the shocking revelation behind his hiatus turned out to be far more devastating than anyone could have imagined, leaving fans stunned and saddened. Join us to learn the real reason why Toby Keith quit making music.
American girls, American guys will always stand up and salute and always recognize.
Toby was born on the 8th of July 1961 in Oklahoma. His parents were Caroline Joan and Hubert K. Koval Jr. Toby was raised alongside a sister and a brother. The family initially resided in Fort Smith, Arkansas, during Keith's early years in grade school. However, they later moved to Moore, Oklahoma, a suburb of Oklahoma City, shaping much of Toby's formative years. Before relocation to Moore, young Toby spent his summers visiting his grandfather in Fort Smith, who owned Billy Garner's Supper Club. It was here that he first discovered his passion for music, watching and becoming intrigued by the musicians who performed at the club. Toby began immersing himself in the world of music by doing odd jobs around the Supper Club, and at the age of 8, received his first guitar. After settling in Moore, Toby attended Highland West Junior High and later Moore High School, where he showed his athleticism as a defensive end on the football team. Following his graduation from Moore High School, Toby entered the workforce. He worked as a derrick hand in the oil fields. Over time, he ascended to a supervisory role, all while nurturing his love for music. Then, Toby co-founded the Easy Money Band with his friends, performing at local bars and roadhouses while maintaining his job in the oil industry. Despite facing challenges, including having to leave concerts abruptly to respond to work calls, Toby pursued both his musical and professional aspirations. In 1982, the oil industry in Oklahoma experienced a downturn. Toby Keith found himself unemployed. He temporarily transitioned to football, playing defensive end for the semi-pro Oklahoma City Drillers. Simultaneously, he continued performing with his band. Although he tried out for the United States Football League's Oklahoma Outlaws, he did not make the team and eventually redirected his focus back to music. Facing skepticism from family and friends, Toby and the Easy Money Band ventured into the honky-tonk circuit in Oklahoma and Texas in 1984. Toby Keith's love story with his wife, Trisha Lucas, began years before he became the renowned should-have-been-a-cowboy singer. Their paths first crossed in 1981 in an Oklahoma nightclub. At the time, Toby was 20 and Trisha, working as an oil company secretary, was 19. The encounter occurred in the midst of youthful exploration and enjoyment of life. Recalling that initial meeting, Trisha described Toby as a larger-than-life figure, exuding confidence. They shared a dance that night, and Toby was captivated by Trisha's presence. Despite their youth, Toby knew that he had found someone special and envisioned a lifetime together. Their connection was instantaneous, marking the beginning of a love story that would endure for decades. The couple dated for 3 years, and on the 24th of March 1984, Toby Keith and Trisha Lucas exchanged vows of marriage. The commitment took a significant turn, as Toby also embraced fatherhood by adopting Trisha's daughter Shelley, who had been born a year before their first meeting. Shortly after tying the knot, the couple welcomed 2 more additions to their family, Crystal and Stellan. During the early years of their marriage, Toby worked alongside his father in the oil fields, striving to provide for his growing family. However, the financial challenges were evident, with an annual income of around $50,000 for a family of 5. When the oil industry faced a downturn, Toby turned to music as a means to support his loved ones. Despite external skepticism and Trisha encouraging Toby to pursue a real job, she steadfastly believed in his musical talents and supported him in his pursuit of a career in the industry. Toby Keith's dedication to his musical ambitions eventually paid off when he signed a record deal in 1993. Toby's breakout success came with his hit song Should Have Been a Cowboy, which claimed the top spot on the charts in 1993. Notably, it emerged as the most frequently played country song of the entire decade, amassing over 3 million radio performances. Toby's journey to writing Should Have Been a Cowboy is a fascinating tale of inspiration striking in unexpected moments. In the early 90s, Toby was facing rejection from major labels in Nashville, grappling with the competitive landscape that already boasted established male artists like Garth Brooks. It was during a pivotal hunting trip that the idea of his most iconic song came to him. The spark for Should Have Been a Cowboy ignited during a visit to a western saloon after a day of pheasant hunting. Toby observed a fellow hunter, about his age at the same time, approach a young girl at the bar and ask her for a dance. The anticipation in the air was palpable, but the outcome was far from what the aspiring country artist expected. The girl turned down the hunter's request, citing his hunting clothes and the lingering scent from a day spent in the field. Witnessing this rejection, Toby's creative mind went into overdrive. A little later, a different young man walked into the saloon, and the same girl readily accepted his invitation to dance. At that moment, someone shouted to the initially rejected hunter, "John, you should have been a cowboy." The idea struck like lightning, and Toby Keith was determined to capture it before it slipped away. Eager to bring the concept to life, he faced a practical challenge. He didn't want to disturb his roommate at the hotel they were staying in. Unfazed by the obstacle, Toby grabbed his guitar and retreated to the bathroom. There, sitting on the edge of the bathtub, he began the process of transforming the narrative into lyrics. In a burst of creativity, Toby wrote Should Have Been a Cowboy in a remarkably short span of time, just 20 minutes. The speed with which the song flowed from his mind to his pen reflected both the clarity of inspiration and the urgency to capture the essence of that memorable hunting trip. The song's rapid creation marked a turning point in Toby Keith's career. Should Have Been a Cowboy became his debut single, released as the lead track from his self-titled debut album. Little did he know that this song, born from a moment of rejection and a hunter's misfortune, would become one of the most iconic country songs of the 90s, launching Toby Keith into the forefront of the country music scene. After the phenomenal success of his debut single Should Have Been a Cowboy in 1993, Toby continued to assert his dominance in the country music scene. His subsequent albums, including Boomtown and Blue Moon, further solidified his standing as a prominent artist. These releases featured hit singles like Who's That Man and Me Too, showing Toby's songwriting prowess. The late 1990s marked a significant phase in Keith's career, with the release of How Do You Like Me Now, which became a breakthrough album. The title track became a chart-topping single, earning him his first #1 hit on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart. The album's success signaled a renewed chapter in Toby Keith's career. As the 2000s unfolded, Toby Keith's chart-topping streak continued with albums like Pull My Chain and Unleashed, featuring hits such as I Wanna Talk About Me and the patriotic anthem courtesy of the Red, White and Blue, The Angry American. He had this ability to blend traditional country elements with a contemporary sound. His unapologetic approach to songwriting contributed to his enduring success, making Toby a revered figure in the country music genre. Throughout his career, Toby did not shy away from controversy. In 2002, his song courtesy of the Red, White and Blue sparked heated debates and discussions upon its release. The song's unapologetic and confrontational lyrics, combined with its timing in the aftermath of the September 11 attacks, made it a lightning rod for both support and criticism. One of the primary sources of controversy was the song's aggressive tone and vengeful lyrics, which were perceived by some as advocating a militaristic and retaliatory approach. While many saw the song as a fierce expression of patriotism and a call for justice, others criticized it for promoting a jingoistic and aggressive stance, particularly in a time of heightened tensions and international complexities. Critics argued that the song's lyrics were too provocative and could potentially fuel animosity, contributing to an us versus them mentality. Canadian-born newsman Peter Jennings requested Toby to soften the lyrics of his song for the patriotic special program that he was hosting, but Toby refused to appear on that special and said his song wasn't for everyone. Later, his performance of the song at various events, including televised appearances and concerts, added fuel to the controversy. The song got Toby feuding with a lot of people. One of the most talked about ones was the Dixie Chicks. The feud between Toby Keith and the Dixie Chicks began in 2003. The Dixie Chicks, known for their country pop sound, made headlines when lead singer Natalie Maines criticized then President George W. Bush during a concert in London. Toby Keith, who was already known for his patriotic and often politically charged songs, took offense to the Dixie Chicks' comments, At the time, Keith was gaining popularity for his song courtesy of the Red, White and Blue, The Angry American, which was seen as the ultimate patriotic anthem of the times. In response to Dixie's comments, Toby publicly criticized the Dixie Chicks and expressed his disagreement with their stance. He didn't mince words and took a confrontational approach, adding fuel to an already contentious situation. The feud intensified when Toby performed at the 2003 Academy of Music Awards with a backdrop that featured a doctored image of Natalie Maines, Saddam Hussein, and Fidel Castro. This gesture was widely seen as a direct attack on Natalie, and it further escalated tensions between the artists. The fallout from this feud had a lasting impact on the Dixie Chicks' career, with some radio stations banning their music and a portion of their fanbase turning away. While many celebrities refrained from using any controversial symbols, slogans, or flags, Toby never shied away from expressing his ideologies. A lot of the time it got him into major trouble, but he kept on building that tough, old-school countryman image. After the Angry American anthem, his use of the Confederate flag has been a subject of controversy and criticism. The Confederate flag, also known as the Rebel flag or the Southern Cross, is a controversial symbol associated with the Confederate States of America during the American Civil War. For many, it represents historical racism, slavery, and oppression, making its display a sensitive and divisive issue. Today, Keith's association with the Confederate flag became notable during some of his performances, where the flag was displayed prominently. The use of this symbol sparked discussions about its appropriateness, especially considering its historical context and the racial tensions associated with it. Critics argue that the Confederate flag is a symbol of the Confederacy, which fought to preserve slavery, and that its display can be offensive and hurtful to African Americans and other marginalized communities. As a result, artists who incorporate the Confederate flag into their imagery often face backlash for those who view it as a symbol of hate and oppression. Over time, discussions around the use of the Confederate flag have become more nuanced, and public opinion on the matter has evolved. In April 2009, Toby found himself in a harrowing situation during his 6th USO tour when he was performing at a military base in Afghanistan. While performing the song Weed with Willie, the show was abruptly interrupted by an attack. The unexpected threat prompted both the singer and his audience to quickly seek refuge in a concrete bunker, ensuring their safety until the danger had passed. Despite the unsettling incident, Toby's resilience and dedication to his fans shone through as he returned to the stage, determined to continue the performance once the all-clear was given. In the face of such a startling occurrence, one might expect an artist to reconsider touring in potentially hazardous areas. However, Toby demonstrated unwavering commitment by completing his next USO tour, which included stops in both Afghanistan and Iraq. Everybody who knew him always said he was a brave man. Instances like this surely do prove that right. Apart from being an iconic country crooner, Toby has also dabbled in movies. One notable film in which he took on a leading role was Broken Bridges, which was released in 2006. In this drama, Toby played the character Bo Price, contributing both his acting talents and musical prowess to the film. Following Broken Bridges, Toby continued his acting pursuit with Beer for My Horses, which was released in 2008. The comedy movie was inspired by his hit song of the same name. In this film, Toby not only starred but also played a significant role as a producer. Throughout his life, Toby always openly told his political leaning. He said he was a right-wing Democrat who sometimes didn't agree with what his party was doing. His political stance became particularly evident during the 2017 presidential inauguration of Donald Trump, where his performance stirred both applause and criticism. In a climate of heightened political tensions, Toby Keith's decision to perform at Trump's inauguration generated significant attention. Some applauded his willingness to participate in a national event, emphasizing unity and the peaceful transition of power. Supporters saw Toby's performance as a patriotic gesture, in line with his long-standing commitment to celebrating American values in his music. However, the decision also sparked controversy and backlash, with some fans expressing disappointment and disapproval. Despite the backlash, Toby defended his decision, stating that his performance was not a political statement, but a show of support for the country. He emphasized on the importance of coming together as Americans, irrespective of political differences, and using music as a unifying force. As someone who was consistently putting out good music from the 90s till the 2010s, Toby hadn't put out many songs in the 2020s. His decision to step back from making music was attributed to the changing landscape of the music industry. According to Keith, the decline in radio airplay for the type of country music he produced played a significant role in his reduced musical output. He expressed his belief that mainstream radio was less inclined to play his style of music, making it challenging for artists like him to find a platform for their work. In an interview, Toby conveyed his frustration with the current state of the industry, stating that although fans could still access his music through streaming services, the lack of radio support meant that the traditional avenues for exposure were limited. The artist, who had built a successful career on a formula that once guaranteed airplay, found himself adapting to a landscape that seemed less receptive to his brand of country music. He also expressed his reluctance to alter his style to fit the contemporary sound, emphasizing his commitment to the kind of music that had defined his career. But as fans later got to know, Toby also had some other reasons for not working anymore, which he kept hidden from his fans at the time. In addition to his accomplished music career, Toby was one of the most influential entrepreneurs in Oklahoma. His business portfolio included the chain of restaurants he owned, aptly named I Love This Bar and Grill, inspired by his hit song of the same name. These establishments provide patrons with a unique blend of live music, classic American comfort food, and a lively country-themed atmosphere. Toby has also made a mark in the spirits industry with his own mezcal brand called Wild Shot. Adding to his hospitality ventures, Toby introduced the Shut Up and Hold On bar, further expanding his brand into the realm of live entertainment and social gatherings. This establishment, like his restaurants, aimed to provide a memorable and energetic experience for patrons who appreciate country western vibes. Beyond the world of food and beverages, Toby had delved into fashion and merchandise with his own clothing lines. This allowed fans to embrace his signature style through a range of apparel and accessories. He'd also established his artist management agency at TKO Artist Management. He was committed to guiding and representing other talented artists in the entertainment industry. Additionally, he founded his own record label, Show Dog Nashville, which has played a pivotal role in launching the careers of various country artists like Randy Houser, Trace Adkins, and Joe Nichols. Those who knew Toby vouched for his giving nature. He was a total philanthropist by nature. His charity, OK Kids Coral, worked on providing a cost-free home for families with children battling cancer. This charitable initiative showed Toby wanted to give back to the community and support those facing challenging circumstances. In the fall of 2021, Toby Keith received a diagnosis that would significantly impact his life: stomach cancer. Following this revelation, he took to Instagram in July 2022 to share the news with his followers. During the 6 months that ensued, he underwent a challenging regime of chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery as part of his treatment plan. In his Instagram post, the country music star expressed a cautiously optimistic outlook on his health journey, noting that things were so far so good. Acknowledging the taxing nature of his medical treatments, he emphasized the need for a period of respite, recovery, and relaxation. Importantly, he looked forward to dedicating time to be with his family. In a subsequent update provided in December 2023 during an interview on CMT Hot 20 Countdown, Toby spoke candidly about the difficulties of navigating the physical and emotional toll of his treatment. Till the end of last year, he kept on appearing in different interviews for his fans and told them that he was doing better, which is why the news of his passing came as a punch to the gut for everyone. Toby Keith passed away peacefully in his sleep in Oklahoma on the 5th of February 2024 at the age of 62. Upon the somber news of Keith's death, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt issued an order for U.S. and Oklahoma flags on state property to be flown at half-staff throughout the day on February the 6th until sunset the following day. This gesture served as a demonstration of respect and mourning for the loss of the American music legend. On the 10th of February 2024, during a University of Oklahoma basketball game against rival Oklahoma State, a unique tribute unfolded. Inspired by Toby's song Red Solo Cup, the university honored the late artist by distributing red Solo Cups with every drink purchase. Videos capturing fans singing Red Solo Cup while raising their drinks circulated widely on social media in the aftermath of the game, becoming a heartfelt and memorable homage to Toby Keith's enduring influence. Toby is survived by his wife and their 3 children. Their oldest daughter, Shelley Koval Rowland, is a mother of 2. Crystal Lorden Koval, their second child, followed her father's musical path. Crystal, known as Crystal Keith, has performed with Toby and debuted a single, Daddy Dance With Me, in 2013. The couple's third child, Stellan Keith Koval, works behind the scenes in the music industry. Kelly and Stellan represent the next generation of the Keith family involved in the musical world, with Crystal as a performer and Stellan in concert booking. As per the Instagram post shared on his account, Toby's funeral service, organized by the Koval family, is said to be an intimate gathering, limited to the late musician's immediate family, band members, and crew. In a gesture reflecting the philanthropic spirit of the country music star, the family has requested that, instead of flowers, well-wishers consider making donations to Keith's foundation. These days, everything Taylor Swift does or doesn't do is bound to cause an online uproar. Before we tell you why Toby fans are angry with Taylor, you should know how Toby helped young Taylor at the beginning of her career. In the early 2000s, Taylor was a young country singer trying to get a big break, and Toby was a bona fide star of the industry. In 2006, Big Machine signed their first artist. It was none other than Taylor Swift. Toby was a major stakeholder in that record label. He had a hand in helping Swift's career get off the ground. Taylor herself has expressed admiration for Keith in past interviews, emphasizing the impact he had on her. In an interview with Nashville WSMV prior to her debut album, Taylor gushed about Toby, stating that he will always be one of the biggest country singers in her eyes. This sentiment was echoed in 2015, when Swift praised Toby as he was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Despite the positive history between Swift and Keith, Taylor's recent silence following Keith's death has sparked disappointment and criticism among fans and the public. Taylor, known for her active presence on social media, didn't post anything about Toby after his passing. Fans are now speculating about the possible reasons for her silence. Some suggest she might be mourning privately or dealing with other personal matters, while others point to the complexities of their relationship or a potential falling out. But there has been no lack of tributes and condolences for Toby and his family. After the news of Toby Keith's passing, tributes began pouring in from celebrities and fellow country musicians, highlighting the impact he had on the music industry and the lives of those who admired him. One notable tribute came from fellow country singer, Toby's old friend Blake Shelton, reflecting on the passing of his friend and country music legend Toby Keith, who shared his sentiments on X, previously Twitter. Expressing disbelief at the reality of the moment, Blake shared that he knew of Toby's health battle, but like everyone else, he had hoped for the best. Celebrities like Cole Swindell, Dolly Parton, Carrie Underwood, and so many others had nothing but nice things to say about Toby and the grand legacy he left behind. These tributes highlighted the genuine connections Toby Keith made within the music industry. It also showed the impact of his music and the positive influence he had on those around him. As the country music community mourns the loss of a true icon, Toby's contributions to music will undoubtedly continue to resonate, leaving a lasting legacy.